Hi again, Rod from Fleet News Group, and today I have with me the Renault Megane E-Tech. Let's have a look at this one. I'll be telling you all about it, including what's it like to drive, how comfortable is it, as a fleet driver, could you live with it every day, and give you the lowdown on charging and how long it takes to get this thing powered up to get you going again. So let's have a look. And remember, if you like these videos, please hit that like button down there, as well as the subscribe button and the notification bell. That way you can be kept up to date with everything we're doing here at the Fleet News Group. Go on, give that like button a little bit of a tickle. You know you want to. Well, having a look at the styling of the Renault Megane, I think it's quite an attractive vehicle. Renault calls it a crossover SUV. Kind of looks like a small hatchback to me, but there you go. It's got the lovely shadow grey and black rooftop. That's an $800 option. And I think it looks very modern and up to date. Lovely big 20-inch alloy rims. Look very nice on the car. Nice design, smooth flowing. I think it looks really cool. I like it. I like even better, I go to get in. Look, no hands. It opens up for me. The mirrors fold out, the door handle pops out. Very good. And when you lock it, just step on away. And it locks itself. The mirrors fold in, so you know it's locked. When it comes to living with it every day, getting in and out of it, driving around for work, just hop on in, and it's quite easy and comfortable to sit down into the car as well. Always very good. Well, what's under the bonnet? No surprises here. It's an electric motor. The motor is actually powered by a 60 kilowatt hour battery, and Renault lists the output for this motor at 160 kilowatts, the torque at 300 newton meters. It's quite a tractable motor to drive around town. It gets up and goes. It's quite zippy. It's not the fastest or strongest electric car I've ever driven in that regard in terms of engine performance, but for everyday use it's going to be more than fine and do everything you need it to do. But what's the range? Renault lists the range on this car at 454 kilometres. That's pretty good. Talked about charging times elsewhere in the video, but 454 is pretty good. But that's from 100% charge. The most I've managed to get this car charged up to while I've had it this week is 80%, and that's whether it was on 240, a plug-in one out in the shopping centre, or a DC charger. The most it would go up to was 80%. And at that percentage on the battery, the maximum range is about 300 kilometres. Bit of a substantial difference to the 454. But considering all that, how much power does it use? What's its consumption as you drive around? Renault lists the consumption at 15.6 kilowatt hours per 100 Ks. Watching the car and studying its average, I've seen it range between 14.7 and 15.2 kilowatt hours per 100 Ks. And that was involving a bit of freeway driving, so cruising along, treating it gently. Hey, there's no surprises here. You don't use as much power when you're not driving it that hard. Good to know. Well, welcome to the EV Hunger Games. I'm here in a car park with underground charging stations here. It's not even 7 AM on a Sunday morning, and I was the last one here. All 4 charging stations are in use. We've got a car over here, and then the other 2 over here. And it's just a case, it's almost like the Hunger Games. I've had 2 cars come by, scoping me out, trying to see when I'm going to be finished. And I've only been here about 10 minutes. But in any case, finding a charging station is an issue. This is the third time I've been to this one. It's the first time I've actually got in. But in any case, let's talk about the Megane E-Tech here and its charging. Charging times. Forgive the notes. Charging time on the 240 volt pack that you can buy to come with the car. That'll take it from, it says 0% to 100% on a 240 volt outlet. It'll take 30.5 hours to do that. But here's the rub, I have been charging it on a 240 volt outlet and it only takes it up to 80%. In fact, any charger I've taken it to, it's only taken it back up to 80%. I don't know if that's something set wrong in the car or not. I've tried everything. No type of charger, the car doesn't want to go above an 80% charge. Maybe that's an issue with this car. If you find a 7.4 kilowatt charger, which is what this one is, it says 0 to 100, 9 hours 15 minutes. If you get a 22 kilowatt hour charger, the time doesn't change, it'll still charge at the same rate. But if you find a DC supercharger, the Renault can take up to 130 kilowatts capacity on one of those, and from 15% to 80% charge, it says it'll do it in about 30 minutes. The car park here has a 2-hour free wait time. So no matter what you do, 22 kilowatt charger, 7.4 kilowatt charger, over 9 hours to charge it, you're not going to get to a full charge in any case. You're just going to get a top up whilst you're going shopping, which is not too bad if you think of it that way. 2 hours free parking, 2 hours shopping, 2 hours worth of charging, if you can get a charger bay. I'm in the front seat of the Renault Megane E-Tech. Very comfortable. Got a good amount of headroom going up here. Good comfortable seating position. It's got a nice electric, yes, there's lumbar support. Very nice. Very nice and comfortable. Good view out the front. Leatherette type steering wheel cover here. But interestingly, all the fabrics here and the leather type fabric that's here as well are all made from 100% recycled plastics. So that's got to be a big tick on the sustainability scale there. Looking in here, and I'll show you shots of this separately as well, there's actually a 12.3 inch digital instrument cluster there. Nice flat screen there, a lovely little picture of the car. We've got the speedo, we've got energy consumption, all that stuff happening there, telling me my range as well. And over here's a 9-inch colour touchscreen as well. Uses Apple CarPlay, Android Auto as a standard. Very good, nice and easy to operate. Just connect the phone up and away you go. The charge mat is in a very handy location here. My phone just sits on it there, nice and rubberized. Doesn't slide around and move off, so it stays charging. That's a good thing. We've then got a couple of storage holes down here. Put some stuff there. Only one cup holder, it's very European, so we've got the bottle test today, not the coffee cup test. Fits in nice and easy, but if you had a coffee cup, just take you're driving, you'd kind of be, especially if it was a little one, I think you'd be fishing around a bit down there for that. So that's probably a little bit of a negative. There's bottle holders in the doors as well, works very well, all back in there. We've got a little compartment here that opens up to hide some stuff away. Lots of little knickknacks and places to put stuff. Quite good. It's a very comfortable seating position. And up here, something different. It actually has an electronic rear view camera. That's nothing unusual, but it runs all the time through the rear view mirror. It's not actually a mirror, it's actually a display for the camera that's out the back. How cool is that? Well, here I am in the rear seat of the Megane E-Tech. The driver's seat is actually in my normal driving position, so I've got a bit of headroom up here, not a lot. All right, knee room's good. zero toe room. I've got them splayed either side of the seat because they won't fit underneath, but it's pretty comfortable here. Short trips I should be fine. Longer trip, maybe not so much, but just what it is, isn't it? It's a small crossover SUV, so can't expect absolute limousine-like levels in the rear seat, but no, it's comfortable enough. There's some air vents down there, a couple of USB-C ports as well, so it's all pretty good. Little light there turns on, looks good. Well, what's in the boot? It's a manual tailgate, not power operated here, but in here with the rear seats up, 440 litres of space. There's a little compartment in there as well, which you fold up the flap to put the charge cables away in, so they're out of the way. When you fold the back seats down, the volume increases to 1,332 litres of space. There is no spare, just a glue kit to get you mobile should you suffer the indignity of a flat. Well, what's it like driving the Renault Megane E-Tech? Electric vehicle, so of course it's quiet. Little bit of road noise from the tyres, nothing too intrusive though, but it's very comfortable. I'm quite enjoying the seating position I have here. Good view out the front. It's quite nice. Being electric, quite responsive. It does pick up a little bit here, just got to watch the speed at the moment. When we get up to 100 zone, I'll show you accelerate there, but I don't know, it just does everything right. For an urban about town car, I don't mind driving it around. I think it's quite good. Just, yeah, it ticks the boxes. A couple of things I like about it: the place where the phone charger is. Wireless charging here for your phone, just sitting on that nice little rubberized mat. It doesn't slide around. It's very good. Uses Apple CarPlay, of course. Wireless Apple CarPlay or Android Auto. You just pick the flavour depending on your phone. But that's really good there. Nice and handy to get to on the charge mat, and it doesn't slide around. That's really good. There's nothing worse when you need the phone to charge and it slips on the charge mat and it doesn't charge. That's never good. But it's got different modes here in driving it. Big button to change them in comfort mode at the moment. Next push takes it up to eco mode, then into sport mode, perso mode, and back to comfort mode. At night it changes all the colouring. The comfort mode is generally a bluish type colour. Eco's green, of course. Sport is red, and perso is orange. And the ambient lighting in the car and the trim lights and things like that all change. So I just put it up here into sport mode because we're coming up to the 100 zone. I'll just wait for it till I hit it. There's the marker, and put it down. And it leaps away, just like an electric car should. Is it as explosive and dynamic as some others? No, it's 60 kilowatt hour battery, 160 kilowatt, 300 newton meter torque motor, so it goes pretty good. There's others that are better, but in that sport mode she gets up and goes. Just put it back over into comfort mode. I'll just change over here. Another thing I like, cruise control. Turn it on, hit the set button, done. Simple and easy, no mucking around with stalks under here, trying to move this, that and the other. Just quick and easy to set it. Comfort mode, very good. Put my foot down in the 100 zone and she goes well. But I put it into eco mode. When I put my foot down in eco mode, it sort of brick walls a bit, and there's at times I've got my foot flat to the boards and it's hardly going at all. So it's just especially it's a bit of an annoyance that. I've been driving in some points and put the foot flat down in 110 zone and it just doesn't want to go. So don't get that. And the other mode's fine, but just eco, yes, it's quite comfortable to drive in. It cruises along. We're in it at the moment, holding the 98 k's an hour on a speedo in the 100 zone, doing it comfortably. But if you want to put your foot down sometimes, I've just found it doesn't like it. So there's that to consider. Safety features on the Megane E-Tech. 5-star ANCAP safety rating. That's very good. Driver aids. It's got blind spot monitoring, radar cruise control, of course, lane keeping warning, lane departure warning. It's got rear cross traffic alert. It's got autonomous emergency braking. It's got all that happening, and it is quite a comfortable and safe car to drive. It's got the parking sensors, and they can be a bit annoying at times, just incessantly going off, but that's what it is. And then it's got this thing up here, a rear view mirror. So what? Well, it's actually the camera out the back, and it's a live display of what's going on. Very natty, quite good. Sometimes I think a bit of sunlight glare in the camera affects it. When you're travelling east on an afternoon and the sun setting in the west, get a bit of glare on the camera, can affect your vision in that mirror. But also I think the refresh rate of the display here at times, especially when you're glancing at something at a distance, isn't quite as fast and gets a little blurred and things like that. But overall, it's quite a natty idea. Auto dims, does all that stuff, of course, and there's a nice little feature added to this car. Novated leasing, yes. All EVs are dearer than a similar type car in the same size and that, but I think it certainly has a good package to put out there, and one which, if you're looking for a small EV, the Megane E-Tech makes a very strong argument to earn your coin to buy one of these. Fleet managers, it's a small crossover SUV. Depends on what the needs of the fleet is, of course, but being an EV and being a very ecologically sound EV at that, with all the sustainable materials and recycling and that, 90% of this car is 100% recyclable. How cool is that? The seats in here I'm sitting on are all made from 100% recycled plastics on the fabrics and finishes. That's pretty good. And for a large corporate fleet looking to become greener, more sustainable, all these things are going to count as good markers having this type of vehicle in your fleet. Maybe to offset some more four-wheel drive or tradesman type vehicles that are absolutely needed because of the kind of work they have to do, but small urban, just passenger use vehicles, urban, country, whichever, may well, this would be a good offset for them. It's all good. Well, what's the ownership experience like with the Renault Megane E-Tech? Warranty. Renault offers on this car a 5-year, 100,000 kilometre warranty. Sounds great, but most manufacturers offer 5 years unlimited kilometres. 5 years, 100,000, it harks back to the old warranties, just 5 lots of 12 months or 20,000 Ks. Just saying. The battery though is warranted for 8 years or 160,000 kilometres, up to 70% charge value of the battery. So there's that as part of the offer as well. Service intervals, pretty good actually. Once a year or once every 30,000 Ks, whichever occurs first. Plus, when you buy this car, Renault will give you complimentary 5-year 24/7 roadside assist. So, not a bad offering to have there. Certainly those service intervals make it a bit more economical, especially in the fleet space if you're considering that. Less downtime off the road, more productivity as the car's around doing what it's meant to do. But what's the price? Oh, forgive the notes here. Renault actually lists the price on this car at $64,990 plus on-road costs. But I was doing a bit of research yesterday looking on the Renault website, and I came up with these numbers. They're both published by Renault, but let's see what they are. As you see this car, drive away without any options on it, which I'll go through in a moment, it's $59,949 drive away here in New South Wales. To that, you've got to add $400 for the nice shadow grey colour and another $400 for the black roof. The 240 volt charger that they've given me with this car, well, that's another $451. and then the nice floor mats inside, they're $200. Bringing a grand total 61,470 drive away in New South Wales, as you see it right here, right now, advertised on Renault's own price calculator on the website. Sounds pretty good there, but they have also told me 64,990 plus on roads. Either way, it's a fair bit of coin for a small SUV. Electric one, it's cheaper than some others, definitely. It's quite competitive that way, but just double check your pricing, and I'm sure the Renault will be happy to talk to fleets as well. What are fleet managers and the fleet space going to think about a car like this? Well, number one, it's electric. There's a big bonus to fleets. No fuel costs, good for the environment, sustainability, all that stuff going for it as well. So it's going to tick some boxes, especially in large corporate fleets, to how sustainable and ecologically sound their total fleet is. So it's going to help that way. As you see the car here, over 90% of materials used to manufacture this car are completely recyclable. So at the end of its life, it can be broken down and turned into something else. The interior, the seat fabrics, they're actually all made from 100% recycled plastic. So the sustainability of this car and its ecological footprint is much smaller than many other vehicles. So there's that to consider for the fleet. Obviously there'd be probably good corporate discount pricing for fleets to have this kind of vehicle, but is a small crossover SUV the kind of thing the fleet manager is looking for? If it is an electric vehicle, this one's going to stack up pretty well. But all fleet managers should have, when they're considering vehicles, one of these. Fleet News Group's Car Leasing Guide. It's available right now to download for free online at www.fleetnewsgroup.com.au. You can just download a copy for free and away you go. Well, I've quite enjoyed driving the Renault Megane E-Tech over the last week. Taking it all around the place, urban runs, freeway running, bit of regional travel. It's done the job very well. I've quite enjoyed it. How would a fleet look at this vehicle? Well, if they need a small, lightweight crossover SUV, I think it'll tick the boxes for them pretty well. Especially when you consider, yes, it's electric, and its green footprint's going to be pretty good, especially when you consider its total package and that 90% of the car is fully recyclable. That's got to be a big tick for a large corporate fleet to have a vehicle like this in it. It looks good, it goes pretty good, I've enjoyed driving it. So if you're looking for a small crossover electric vehicle, Renault Megane E-Tech may well be worth consideration, both for you as a novated lease or for your fleet manager to consider going to the company fleet. Remember, if you like these videos, don't forget to hit that like button down there, as well as the subscribe button and the notification bell. That way you can be kept up to date with everything we're doing here at the Fleet News Group. Thank you very much for watching. I'm Rod, and I'll just say, enjoy the rest of your day. Bye.